could have been pretty good because it's really good against Axe. But it's not so much that it's not the anti-mice pick. I just don't know if Juggernaut's that great against the heroes that are being shown right now right in a solo lane.
The game's going to get going here. I agree with you. They're probably going to head towards that bottom lane. Maybe try to, you know, they're getting there. They're going to go to bottom, it looks like, with a couple of heroes. Actually, just Jonathan fan for now. He does have a good old stat shield ring of protection starting item build here, so he will be quite tanky and difficult to deal with. But as it stands right now, Seal Kid's heading top. He might just ward. Look for that bounty rune at the top rune spot, although I gotta say, the Radiant side for the top bounty rune is so much better. There's so much high ground to work with in comparison to the Dire side. Dire side has this one little staircase here, and if they try to walk out, they have to walk a long way to get to that bounty rune. There's a lot of heroes that can stand in the vicinity. But, oh, Bone 7, that double ring of protection strat. I thought people didn't do this anymore after they changed to ring of prot gold. But that is 8 armor for the Bat Rider. He's a tanky bad boy, Bat Rider. Now he's feeling himself.
Yep, it's pretty good for him. Earthshaker is very. Oh, actually, Earthshaker is going bottom to block the creeps for Jonathan fan. So I imagine it will be actually just an offlane axe. Bone 7, he has the sticky napalm early, so already applying stacks. He wants to apply them now, so that by the time the rune comes up, they just have so many stacks that they can't contest it. Limp is sitting here actually doing some good damage with his Arc Lightning, but yeah, they will get pushed out, and it's just really hard to contest this against the Bat Rider that has stacks on you of sticky napalm.
That was a really good play, really solid play. It was kind of just they were dancing back and forth, trying to decide who was going to grab it, but the sticky napalm stacks come out, and that does give Bone 7 an easier time. And the dual lane, I've seen this before with them. No-Tail, Bone 7 in the offlane, having the Omni-Knight to help him out. He can run at people, give him obviously the degen for No-Tail, plus the Orb of Venom. If Big Daddy No-Tail gets into range of somebody and right close to them, then you can imagine Bone 7 is going to go to work. And this top lane might be actually pretty difficult for Era. This might be something we weren't expecting, which does give Axe a little bit more room in that bottom lane, but Era might have a tough time farming. He will have the Quill Sprays going early on here. He already has 3 stacks. No points of Bristlebacks, so he's not that tanky, but here comes Hanskin. Looking for that Fissure, doesn't get the block, it's on the wrong side. Shadow Wave goes regardless, and maybe a bit of a hasty initiation coming out. This top lane is going to be a battle, certainly, though, and we'll probably keep our eyes up here.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be a little bit annoying in the top lane, but I don't think they're going to stop Bristleback's farm, per se. So it's a matter of how much Bone 7 can farm, and well, a couple things. One, they haven't placed the ward yet from No-Tail. He does have an Orb of Venom, which is nice, but I don't know. I just don't know about how successful this lane will be. I could be wrong, but I think Nip definitely have the upper edge. We'll see how if this affects the bottom lane as well. As you mentioned, it's going to free up a little bit of time and space for the Axe. Lion is a pretty damn good zoner, though. Like, even by himself, with the changes that were made quite some time ago, does make him actually a pretty decent zoner, but we'll see. Right now, this Axe is getting full levels.
Yeah, the Axe does have Battle Hunger. He already used it early on EE and gave him some right clicks and counter helix procs, and he had to back away from a creep wave and miss a couple of CS. So it's already affecting him a little bit, although he still has decent CS with 6 last hits, so we'll see how things turn out. Seal Kid is smoked up, and he's going to head to the bottom lane. They're just going to keep Era up here kind of alone, and I think this might be okay. I don't know if he needs that much help. Even against a dual lane, he'll have to be careful. Degenerate is going to go, as well as the Orb of Venom.
Oh, he got nuked.
Goes as well. The Firefly, the 2 stacks coming out. Era in trouble. Fissure, No-Tail is going to fall, but they doped the first blood goal. It's split up between the supports, or rather the creeps, I believe. Bottom lane is not what's happening there. All right. Well, pretty big mistake. Those Quill Sprays come out, they stack up, and you're dead all of a sudden.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have Repel, not like it would matter, because you know, obviously the damage can still go through it, but not a good way to start that. And like I said, the biggest thing about this lane, a nice purification doing some extra damage, but he does have a health potion up top, so it doesn't matter. The biggest thing I think for Cloud9 is not so much like, hey, we're disrupting Bristleback's farm. It's like, we need to make sure that our Bat Rider gets free farm. And I don't think he's going to get a ton of farm up there staying in the lane. I think Bat Rider farm is just simply much faster in the jungle. So yeah, it's going to turn into, I think, what should be an Omni-Knight offlane and maybe just Bat Rider jungle, but then that means bottom lane's going to have a much better time for Jonas Fan, who's up to 15 CS right now.
I think if they top lane Era, okay, no, Degen Aura, Orb of Venom, they do TP the bat back up. Maybe they try to go for the kill again, but even then, that seems a bit dangerous. If they just sack that top lane and they rotate maybe Omni Knight down bottom, they not only give their safe lane farm, but they can also stack the jungle like you were talking about. So this top lane feels as if they're putting a lot of pressure on stopping the farm of Hanske, but they've already died once to, or not Hanske, rather Era, but they've already died once to the first bag. So this is going to turn into a weird off lane coming up for Cloud9. And now Era runs at BDN, and well, he does get Purification. There's going to be the Fissure coming out, but Era kind of low, does have a salve, not going to use it yet. He has 7 sick charges as well. How about this mid lane? We haven't talked about it, and of course, Fata with 23 CS, unsurprisingly. He's got 22 Necroom Mastery stacks. Zeus is 13. That's not very good. Ooh, we even deny that haste run at the bottom room spot for Seal Kid. That was sick coming out from his Reverie Spike. That was something else, but
that could have been, potentially pretty bad. There, that nuke is coming out again up in the top lane. That Satyr Tormentor is just nuking everybody. There is a stun from Handskin, and it's kind of in an awkward spot. It sort of blocks off. Nope, it does not. So they will be fine. It's more of a defensive measure, if anything. But he's actually out of mana right now. Needs the clarity up bottom lane. Dives coming. Oh,
Axe actually gets hexed up. They won't go any further. Misery's very low. They could have thought it. They maybe thought about diving. They're like, no, TPs could be coming here. I'm surprised Yoda fan's not going that hard. Fata is diving behind the tower mid, looking for raises. He's got his creep wave there to help him out, but he's not going to go too far in. And
Zeus is actually getting punished in mid lane, and I don't think it should be this bad. I do think that SF wins the lane, but I think usually Zeus is okay to just at least spam out. So something must have happened in the early parts of this laning stage. And I missed it, but Batrunner died to what's probably a Satyr again, nuking him down. Oh my god, those neutral creeps.
I'm pretty sure NIP were trying to go on him, and he just somehow denied himself instead of getting killed by the side of the Dire team. That's probably pretty good, although him dying is necessarily not the thing he's looking for. He's actually going to be back up top. Still no stacks in the Radiant jungle that I can see anyway, as that might be an important... Yeah, I guess that's true, because, like, you have Misery in the... He's just sitting in the trees here. He just can't move anywhere. He's like, please help me. Somebody, dear God. This offlane's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't just trialing defensively just have the Omni Knight stack, because Omni Knight can't really zone out the Axe anyway since he's a melee hero. I mean, maybe he can because he can spam Purification, but that's not an effective use of mana, so I'm not all down with the decisions of the lanes, but the good thing, as you mentioned earlier, is that Fata is crushing mid right now.
That is the one lane that is going well for Cloud9. Top lane, Ares getting plenty of CS. Although Batrider is ahead of him, so that is something. However, I think in terms of just straight up net worth, I think Era's right with that Batrider, even ahead of him. Bottom lane obviously is 26 last hits, not the most in the world for that Juggernaut. So it really comes down to Fata, and maybe just hopefully soon stacking up the jungle. Meanwhile, top, maybe Victor coming out. Bone 7 Zeus ult. Can they get another Quill Spray? He's so low. And he does get it just in range. Arrow walks in, gets the kill. Bottom lane, EE getting caught out, but backing away. He's struggling, man. It's 41 last hits for a Jonas fan in comparison to the 27 of Eternal Envy. TP canceled mid lane as Fata was looking to go back in on Limp, or...
This is what happened. He TP'd and he realized he wasn't going to have mana for the Fissure, so he canceled it. It's kind of a misjudgment there by Handskin. Had he had the Fissure, I think they get the kill because Limp has one more lightning bolt ready to go. But mid lane is a bit of a problem. Like I talked about, how he's crushing Oak top lane. Looks like another go on the Era.
Ooh, big Purification. Can they take him down? The Fissure, the Quill Spray's going to stack up. And Cloud9 need to leave. Big Daddy No-Tail. Nice repel into Bone 7. Not that it matters against Quill Sprays. BDI getting chased down. One more Quill Spray. Big Purification does miss. Swing and a miss coming out from the Omni Knight. And a lot of dancing around. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're diving on Limp. There's going to be the Earth Spike, the raise, double raise going through. Lightning Bolt's on this one. Can they get the return kill? The Hex is up. They're going to get 2 for 1, 2 for nothing even. And the tower. Fata getting the double kill. He is crushing this mid lane. He's crushing this game. He actually doesn't get the last time in the tower. That was awkward. Just like, come on, man. You're a bit better than that.
But mid lane is a gigantic problem right now. He can actually just win the game. Yeah, bottom.
Oh my god, Jonas fan gets the creep wave, and he gets the dunk coming in as well. He got the creep wave, so when he used his Berserker's Call, he was going in onto, obviously, He might get another one. He doesn't have the mana for it, but it doesn't matter. Zeus will get the ult and he'll get the kill. Limp says, thank you very much. I will take that gold. I'll see you later. Jonas and Fan barely alive. Fata chasing after him heavily. Jonas and Fan smartly not going for that DD rune. On the backside, Limp is nearby. Fata kind of a lightning bolt. Fata's like, I need to bottle up. He's going to try to fight. Raise one. Double Raise not going to go. He doesn't have the mana for it. Fata in trouble. Gets jammed. Jonas and Fan comes back in. For dessert. He says, thank you very much. He's going to head back home. And Jonas and Fan is on a roll. He gets his Vanguard. 8.5 minute Vanguard plus 800 gold in Tranquil Boots. This guy is on a tear.
Limp actually almost missed, or he did miss the lightning bolt there. I was kind of fearful that they weren't going to get that kill because the Fisher was on the other side, but they do come out on top there, Nip. That was a very weird thing by Misery to stay there in melee range of the axe and still got spun. You can still get spun through the when you're hexed as well, which is kind of annoying. You don't expect it to happen, but that can happen.
I imagine that'll be changed.
Yeah, and he actually goes for the Vanguard earlier on than this time instead of the Blink. I see this a lot on Axis, but I usually see it when they've just completely free farmed the lane, and you know what? I guess he has, because he has 60 CS, which is ridiculously high.
Yeah, I thought he might have been able to get it earlier. Like 5 minutes is the time you'll see for Vanguard in these types of lanes for Axis, or at least maybe 6 minutes. Jugs is walking into the jungle. Omni Slash he thought about using it, cancels the animation as he got flogged. Fisher canceled. Hanskin's like, do I want to use this? I guess so. He's blocked. Era will chase after him. Healing Ward's gonna go. No Viscous stands the goose, so Era can't really. He might be able to get the kill. Close Spray's at 3 stacks, 4 stacks, about to go. The Zeus ult to secure it. Oh, Limp. All he has to do is press the R button. His team does the rest of the work for him. It's pretty nice.
It actually is the easiest hero in the game to play. Like, look at, he doesn't have to do a damn thing. Just presses R and it's already in a killing spree.
Just walks around like a stupid little hero, hits his R button. Oh my god.
Oh,
Fisher, nice block coming out as well. He has to go up to the top of the river, but instead the last one out onto Era. They're gonna bring him up to the high ground. Era's stuck and more than likely going to die. Nice pick. Oh, he's gonna TP out. He's not gonna make it. Oh, he was so close. Fata walks back in questionably.
No heal from No Tail. I think that's what he was trying to go for.
Oh my god, they get out. What just happened? That was something else.
I think he was expecting the heal from No Tail, which didn't come out. Oh boy. That was awful. He had a haste rune too. Just took so much damage from bolts constantly and constantly. Nice try by Era. He was very, very close, just a half second away from actually getting out in time. But wasn't able to do so, but still coming out on top is Nip. And this is giving more time for Jonas and Fan on the axe. We just picked up his Vanguard, it seems like. He's very, very close, stacking the own enemy jungle for himself to get that Blink Dagger a little bit faster. Speaking of Blinks, Bone 7 does have enough for his, which is good, but this is against one of those teams, I've talked about this before with Batriders, where I don't think Blink is enough. I think you really have to get that 4-step quickly after, because there's things like Fishers to stop your initiation. There's Axe Blink Call, there's Dazzle's Grave and Heal. So it's kind of a precarious situation, even with just a Blink on Batrider.
They're wrapping on top. Era's going to walk right in. Misery and No Tail. Fisher is going to come out, kind of put in an awkward spot. Misery is going to get repelled up, and he'll try to live. He's going to run. He has a TP. Earth Spike is going to go, but the Quill Spray will secure the kill. The Zeus ult came in as well, and Hanskin gets the kill on Big Daddy No Tail. So 2 down. They stay way too long in that top lane. And just easily done coming out from NIP. And I feel like Cloud9 are playing right into NIP's hands here. This is a team where NIP wants to fight. They want to be involved.
Yeah.
Cloud9 don't have much to deal with this early on. I don't know why they're fighting that much.
Well, not even fighting, but like they have 2 of their support heroes laning, pushing the tower top with no one nearby. Like, why does this happen? You know?
Yeah.
It's just like there's just conscious decisions of where you are on the map that are just there's no reason to be there. So, and the innate problem too is, like I mentioned, I don't like their draft. I don't like the decision to have Juggernaut and these melee heroes against very, very strong heroes that will punish melee heroes. So here we go, Repel onto Bone 7. Doesn't really do anything to stop the damage, the physical damage anyway from Era, who is quite farmed right now. He's actually going for a Drums of Endurance this time.
I think Lip probably has Blink Tag. He has enough money for a Blink Tag. He can buy it. And he will do so. Mask Man is picked up for the Juggernaut as well, so at least Jug gets an item after what was a pretty disastrous bottom lane. He has 65 CS, so he's kind of caught up. He still has a long way to go, obviously. Fata helping getting some towers here. His Yule's probably later than it should be, although, I mean, this isn't that bad considering. He's doing pretty nicely for himself. He's level 11. And Axe was thinking about jumping in onto EE, but instead he might get jumped on. The smoke blast is going to go. This is not the easiest skill to go for. Mystery does have to like Zeus ult, Omni Slash. They threw a lot for that kill, but they do get it, and that's a big pickup. That is the highest of net worth. Fotsa got fissured, but they can't really chase him down. Hanski's looking for an enchant totem and backs away. He's going to get raised. He'll get shadow waved back to full-ish health. But they will back away, and so one big pickup for Cloud9 there. That's not bad at all to get that kill.
Yeah, I was surprised that Envy didn't choose to use his Mask of Madness while he ulted, but I guess it didn't really matter at all. Could matter in the future, especially if like you accidentally ult when Axe calls, because then Axe gets the bonus 40 armor, which could actually be pretty devastating. But top lane, it looks like Ancients were attempted stacked, or at least stacked I think 3 times. Which is going to be good for really no one right now, because no one can really clear those.
Under attack.
Double damage bottom. Era is going to scare Fata a little bit and actually take it for himself.
Fish is going to come out. Fata not blocked. Era trying to get up to the high ground. Raze is going to go. Jonas and Fan is in. He's looking for the call, but he gets the chop instead. Big Daddy No-Tail uses the GA. He's still on the run. Era doesn't even have Vistus Nasal Goo. He doesn't care about slows. He just wants to run at people. Easiest way to do that, getting 4 points in your cool spray, 4 points in your burst back. They get 2 quick kills. Fought to the biggest of the targets. And they could even transition into Roshan somewhere in the near future, maybe even now. Looks like that'll be the choice with the double damage rune. This should not be a problem whatsoever.
Nope. Well, we'll see. Like you said, he doesn't have the goo, so it's actually going to take a lot longer than it normally would. And the DD is fading. Okay, it'll still go down, but this is very good for them. Top lane Batrider is getting closer. Yeah, I think this is really smart by Bone7. I think prioritizing his farm and making sure he gets to fast 4 staff after the blink is really going to help him out. Like I said, this is not one of those games where you can just get a blink and go gank right away from Batrider. One, you don't have the damage until Lion Fingers up, or the Omni Slash is up, and 2, it's just so many easy ways to cancel that initiation. So, Aegis goes to Bristleback. And yeah, Nip is in a good position.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
As you mentioned, Bone7 farming the top lane. He does have that Staff of Wizardry, so 4 staff is not too far off. He's going to try to cut the creep wave top lane. He's just putting some pressure on the top tower. He'll TP out, realizing that Era has TP'd in. So good split push from Cloud9 to keep, you know, their mid lane, their Ancients free. You talked about the Ancients. He is taking it with the healing ward. He has his Mask of Madness. It's taking a while, but he'll get there eventually. And he does have like 2,000 gold, so if he wanted to buy Yasha here, he certainly could. Which SNY or Manta is probably the choice, I guess.
Manta would not
SNY?
be good here. Yeah, Manta would definitely not be good here. There's easy AoE to clear the illusions. In fact, the illusions help Axe, if anything.
Yeah.
So I would not recommend Manta, but SNY would be okay.
I mean, I don't know what else you go for. Like, it's just, I've seen so many SMYs trigger that I'm not that well versed in what else people pick up on the hero. I guess BKB also could be okay eventually, but still, even that seems like maybe not.
Well, no, because one, you have Repel if you wanted to prioritize that. Although you might want to have the Repel onto the Batrider. But the thing about BKB is it doesn't really help you against Bristleback nor the Axe, which is, again, the innate problem of the draft, I think. So we'll see. I think SNY is the most likely. I believe Yasha is purchased. Yeah, there's the Yasha flying on the courier.
Still have that, a bit of extra tankability, and when that SNY is done, the Yasha providing some extra damage as well. The main proc is coming out, which is nice, but they're going to work at the tier 1 tower, and it feels like NIP finally manning up. They have the Aegis. There's no real reason for them to wait any further. Limp has the Yule Scepter, Jonas has Vanguard, Blank Dagger, and 2,000 gold seemingly out of nowhere, so he can buy an item if he wants to, like a Blade Veil perhaps. He can go for Aghanims as well. There's a couple of options for him. We've seen like Pipe is pretty good on Axe. In this situation, probably okay. And they, actually Crimson Guard because of the Juggernaut Omni Slash seems like a pretty good item for Jonas fan if he wants to go for that. We'll see.
Dire's top tower
is under if you want to. It gives him a ton of armor too.
Yeah.
I forgot that about the component, is that it gives you the what's the component called? The shield of
Buckler?
Buckler, yeah. So it's a big chunk of armor as well. Makes you really, really tanky.
Radiant structures are
I like that item a lot. think people need to build it more
Dire's
often.
top tower is under attack.
Lots of split pushing this tier 2 top lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, lasso. The 4-staff Bone 7 gets it. Era, he does have the Aegis. They can't secure the kill. That lasso duration is still only level 1, so it's not quite as long as maybe he was anticipating. Only 3-second duration compared to maybe
Dire's
3.5
top
to 4
tower
seconds
is
coming out
under
in the later lasso levels.
Dire's
That was
structures
just
are
weird.
fortified.
I don't think his team knew he was going. Like, they were not ready. There's the Yule's actually on the Jonas fan. Good damage so far, but
Dire's top tower
still got his team
has
behind him.
fallen.
Oh, Fata gets 4-staff in by a Bone 7. There's the blockout coming out.
Oh, he gets the call, but nice Guardian Angel going. Maybe he actually click on the trigger finger. Now Misery finding Limp. Maybe using his finger, thinking about it. Susol's going to go Requiem, but doesn't really hit anybody with it. Yonison fan thinking about jumping in his blink off cooldown now. Air very deep into the fight. Yulsip is going to go, still has the Aegis. They've already lost the line, but that's all they've lost. And actually, NIP very low. They'll have to bottle up, blink away from Bone 7. All the meanwhile, they only lose one hero, and up top, EE is farming away. He has his SNY pretty much. He can purchase it now. He does need a TP scroll, though. That's damn
Radiant's
sure.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, neutral creeps got the kill online. Neutral creeps are just MVP this game.
Yeah, they really are.
They
I didn't
really
even see
are.
that.
But Era still has an Aegis, and that's good for them. A lot of spells were used from C9. They haven't used the finger yet, though. I think it was still on cooldown or something for Lion, but they do have that available. So that's like their biggest source of damage right now when the Omni Slash isn't available.
And they'll smoke up for Cloud9. They're going to be the ones to be aggressive here. There is still the Aegis on Era. They didn't take it down in that fight. Fatsa stops the smoke to sit back and farm mid, so they'll send 3 heroes into the enemy jungle, with a 4th with Juggernaut coming into the backside. Eternal Levy's looking for a hero. Limp is farming, but he's pretty far in. They're going to go for maybe a blink. They don't have a lasso, do they? They do, but he's just out of range. Nice Fisher coming in to stop maybe an Omni Slash. Jug Pop the Mask of Madness to get some more move speed to work with, but they couldn't find anything. They'll head back towards mid and top lane. And they're starting to take over this top half of the map here for Cloud9. They're not being super defensive. They're making sure Juggernaut gets farm in the enemy jungle, and I think that this is kind of a problem for NIP. They're not really doing much at this point.
Yeah, well, they're grouping up a lot, and that's really stifling Bristleback's farm. Era's actually quite underfarmed, all things considered. Yeah, top lane, he did have some aggression, but, I mean, they're up 13-4, so they should be having a pretty good time about finding farm, but that's the one thing that Cloud9 do have going for them, is that their heroes just farm faster and more safely, especially with the item build that Fodge has gone for with the Blink
Dire's
Yules. Like,
bottom
it's
tower
very,
is
very
under
difficult to
attack.
kill him, unless you get a an Axe Call, who is like ready with backup. And even then, I don't know, just because they have an Omni Knight. So, as we approach the mid game, it's getting a little bit stronger for C9, just because their heroes are starting to come into play a little bit easier.
And what do you do if you're an IP? Do you sit back and farm and say, you know what, we missed our window, we got to get some farm on Era, or do you just... I'll hold that thought, actually. Yonison fan? First spike, finger, Omni Slash. He's dead. That was a nice kill. That was a nice pick.
Yeah, good invis rune there for Eternal Envy. Really helped out. And that's big, because I don't know how they kill heroes without Axe anyway. There's a smoke actually coming up from Nib.
They're smoking into their own jungle.
Do anything.
They find Fatsa, but he gets Yulesed up, and now the repel onto Fatsa. You can't really fight into this anymore. And Lip actually backs away. So they smoke into their own jungle. They don't find anything. I don't know, man. It feels like NIP are just kind of running around with their heads cut off at this point. They're trying to find stuff, but I don't know.
I feel like Zeus is really underfarmed. I just feel like actually a lot of their heroes are underfarmed considering the great start that they had. Zeus, he's actually like,
Dire's bottom
what,
tower is
5th,
under
6th
attack.
overall?
Yeah. Yep.
And he's 4, 1, and 4. He's just like, while he's got a good hero score, but he's just not finding creep kills.
Dire's bottom
Eternal
tower
Envy trying to
is
get on
under
top. It
attack.
doesn't have Omni Slash, so it can't do anything to the Zeus, but yeah, so that's the one problem. Also, the supports are very underfarmed too. Like, they're roaming around a lot, but they're not getting many CS. So the Earthshaker's gonna have a very, very late blink as a result.
I guess that's the tale for all of the supports, though. You look at the net worth chart, and you can see all of the cores are bunched up in that 7,000 plus range. And then the next closest person is a 3,000 net worth misery support. So just, I guess, the story of supports in Dota 2, apparently, as 4 of them are combined up to like a total of 10,000 net worth. Also, I did want to talk about... We talked about the item choices for Juggernaut
Radiant's
for
top
Envy,
tower
and
is under attack.
he did go for that Manta style. He opted for the choice that we thought he probably goes for this Y instead.
Yeah, I don't really like it that much, to be honest.
Dire's
I
bottom
don't think
tower
that's
is under attack.
I mean, okay, the one thing about Manta is it's really good late game for split pushing. Like, pushing out lane safely. You could even scout for yourself using the illusions, but like I
Dire's
said,
bottom tower
they have a lot of
fallen.
AoE on Nip, and
Radiant
Axe actually likes it.
structures are
So does
fortified.
Earthshaker. I forgot to mention that, but Earthshaker really
Radiant's
likes it when you have
top
more
tower is under attack.
units on the map too that are clumped
Dire's
up.
bottom
that's,
tower
as
is
long
under
as he doesn't
attack.
clump up with them, I think it's okay. Still think SNY would have been a little bit stronger, but like I said, you can split push a lot better with Manta.
Bone 7 being kind of annoying to you, so fan will TP out. Bottom lane, some pressure was getting placed there by Cloud9, Big
Dire's
Daddy
middle
Notes on
tower
Fata.
is under
I like
attack.
this duo that they've kind of had these two heroes hand in hand for a long time now. They're keeping Fata very, very safe with this repel. And Big Daddy Notel's right behind him and just making him safe. But he will TP top. And they're going to try to push this top lane, although there is no tier 2 tower here. I just feel like Cloud9 are getting so much more off the map right now. And like you mentioned, NIP, really, they don't have the farm. The creep hitting for Zeus isn't quite there. He's caught up a little bit. He's gotten a couple of creeps since the last time we talked about him. And now another smoke for NIP. They really want to make something happening, but Cloud9's movements have been so solid. We'll see if that's going to be the case again this time as they're ready to jump in. Arrow looking to walk forward. They see the Juggernaut. The last one goes on a Lip as well. Omnislash is going to go. Arrow turns his back, but still in trouble. Zeusol goes. Lip heals and stays alive. Now the Echo and the Coin Blade. Lip, graved up misery on the run. He says, please, dear God, I'm just a lion. Well, you're dead, Mr. Lion. Meanwhile, Bone 7 going to get into the trees. He does have his bots ready to go. Big fight for NIP. Big smoke. They take 2 quick kills, but they will have to go back mid as Fata is split pushing.
Yeah, and Bone 7's up
Dire's
here in
middle
the
tower
side,
is
or up the
under
top
attack.
part, trying to look to get away. Right there, man. It's exactly what I talked about. So he Omni-slashed, then Manta'd, and then got called with his Manta illusions attacking, so providing extra spins, and provided extra damage for the Earthshaker. It was like both the things I talked about just happened. Oh, that was funny to watch. Jonas and Fan actually finds the bat who's stuck around, but not going to be able to go onto him. He's got a big chunk of change, too. Look at that, 3,600 there for the Axe.
I'm going to rant here for a second. Axe is such a stupid hero. This hero's broken.
He is quite strong. I will say that.
I mean, I love watching this guy, but, like, all of his abilities are amazing, even Battle Hunger. All right, I'm done. That's it. I only just wanted to say that much. I guess I could have gone further, but I knew that chat would have been upset with me. Chat, the last thing I want is for you guys to be angry at me. Airhole-headed so shit.
I'd say it's not a rant unless some F-bombs are thrown in there. So
That's true. I mean, I guess it was more of an opinion. A statement, I suppose. Not much of a rant. That's alright. Maybe next time. Maybe next time I'll go in. You should have heard me the other night when we were talking, when I was streaming and I was talking about Union Gaming. That was a rant, man.
Oh, yeah?
I went off. I did go off, so.
Fallen to the dire.
Bristleback, by the way, I don't know if you mentioned this, is going for Helm of the Dominator. Or has
That's very
gone for it.
interesting.
Yeah, so he wants a Satanic, which is going to help him be very, very tanky, but I guess it's fine. I don't know, you don't really benefit from the extra, like, well, you know what, now that I think about it, I guess you somewhat do benefit from the lifesteal, because you're actually, when you stack up those Warpath stacks, you're hitting for like
Radiant's middle
250
tower
or
is
something.
under attack.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not so bad, actually. We'll see if it comes into play at all.
I am
At least
curious.
it's
Radiant's
Satanic.
middle tower
Moppax,
has
if you're
fallen.
around, buddy, if you could give us the stats
Dire's
on
bottom
Bristlebacks
tower
that
is
pick up
under
Helm of the
attack.
Dominator / Satanic. I'm sure there's not many, but I want to know if there are any other Zero or any other players that have done that in the past. I'm sure there's maybe 1 or 2. We'll see. Hopefully you are around.
They're picking out Envy. They know he's here.
Oh, he's got a Blade Fury? And they call him. They get the call just in time. E almost finishes TP. And E is the master of farming the
Dire's
enemy's
top
like
tower
jungle
is
and
under
ancients,
attack.
but then dying for it. He likes to be greedy in that sense, and that's fine, but with that greed comes the responsibility of, you know, I might die in this situation. They get the kill. That's a big kill coming out for NIP.
Yeah. And nice guy EE still manages to stack the ancients for him that he just did. Because they killed him in time. And then the new ones respawned. So, looking at the CS though for Fata, it's still quite impressive. If he wants to go for the Scotty, he I think has enough for it. So that'll be good for him. Scotty's very, very good against Axe, but Axe just bought a frickin' Shiva's Guard and still has 1,200 gold left. No blink coming up for the Earthshaker, but he's actually very, very close, so Maybe they can prioritize a little bit of farm, a little bit of me time for Hanskin. 3 Satanics ever on Bristleback in Pro Dota, but also just 3 Helms. Okay. Yeah, not very many.
I am surprised that there are even that many, honestly. I guess it's maybe not that strange, as it's a hard farming hero in the late game. You want to be able to survive. Satanic, one of the ways to do that. So he has bots as well. Bots, S and Y, and Helm of the Dominator. He doesn't have, you know, the biggest items, but that can change quickly. He'll bots in bottom. They're going to try to go for this tier 2 tower and put a little bit of pressure on Cloud9 as Roshan is, I think, just been killed.
Radiant's
and of course, Era has the A because he's ready to go. Jonas Fan is going to sheave his guard, make sure nobody's in the vicinity. They actually force a blink out of Bone 7. That was a nice play. But Fots is at the tier 3 tower top lane, and his Scotty is now done. You have to send some heroes back if you're NIP, but Era just botsed in. So Era has to stay bottom for another 42 seconds. Everyone else is going to TP in, though. Yule's on the bots, and he will get repelled. Blink the call misses, though, and now Jonas Fan hexed up. The Requiem, the Omni slash Jonas Fan gets blown up. He vanishes from thin air. That is huge, and they might even be able to keep going here. They are going to get fissured on Fata. He's taking a bit of damage. He will back up.
I want to check the buyback here.
He doesn't have it.
Oh, it actually says he has it.
It says he has it, but the all right, well.
I've seen a bug with that thing lately, where it's supposed to show the gold banner under it if they have it. But it says on the buyback status that he has it, and I'm checking his gold. I'm like, I think he has it. And
yeah,
he
he's
doesn't have the gold bar.
Yeah. Why does it do that? That's.
I don't know. Like even in my games I've played where I personally have buyback, it doesn't show the gold bar. I'm like, wait, I do have buyback.
I actually rely on that so much, the gold bar thing.
Yeah, me too.
That's whatever. It's a bug. It happens from time to time. I was so sure I didn't have buyback, but I guess I'm wrong. All right, well, he does have buyback. Not that it's necessary. He won't need it. They will be at the tier 3 tower soon, but NIP going for a fight. Limp is going to use the Zeus ult. Bone 7 getting caught. He does have bots. He has Blinken 2, but he's going to die. He's going to get earned up, and Eric gets the kill with the close phrase. Nice play there. Again, they'll probably have to rotate back top, but they do get Bone 7, which is a nice prize for them.
Yeah, and the blink onto the Earthshaker is quite strong.
Oh, did they get a gem?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Bone 7's gem dropping. That's huge.
That is quite big, and I don't think they really countered too much with it. He was trying to counter that one ward, that's why he got caught there. So that ward will stand. They also have another ward deep into the jungle, and placing more wards as we speak, so... Yeah, very nice pickup there for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Limp is walking around lightning bolting, and Hanskin's like, dude, I'm right behind you, dude. I'm literally right here. I guess they do need the provision, but still. They will find one ward. There's another ward very deep in, very close to this mid lane, the mid tier 3 tower on the Radiant side. Well, it's placed by the Radiant on the Dire side. So that's up for a while longer still. They'll probably see that sometime in the near future. However, NIP, do they have the lead in net worth? Wow, 31 minutes into the game, and the net worth graph is 100% even. It is 0. It's very close. The experience graph is also extraordinarily even. This is one of the most even games I've seen in a long time. Wow, the Mjolnir pickup coming up from EE as well. What a pick.
Yeah, I guess it's okay. Like, the reason why I like it somewhat is that the armor is somewhat high from Nip, especially if Weave is down. So what better way to cut through that than extra magic damage? So I like that. I actually like that pickup. There's an ulti, a scouting ulti there to see out where Limp is. No BKB on him. Can he get away? I don't think so.
Well, and Jonas Fan was going after Misery as well. I think he missed his call, and Misery was able to blink away. Fata is trying to secure a tier 2 tower. Almost gets it. He could have stayed and probably got that, and he would have been fine. I guess he saw that Hanskin was counter-warding that ward, which I had talked about earlier. All right, well, NIP, Arrow running right into Misery. That's a bit awkward. X is going to go. He does have respect. Misery is going to blink away. Fata might get caught out. Blink, they used the Echo Slam as well. The call going, the jam. Big pick. Yeah, he was, I think, using his animation. Didn't get off. Good try. And that's a huge pickup. He's down for 65. He does have buyback, obviously, but maybe some room for NIP to work with here.
Dude, when Era uses just 2 spells, okay, well, 3 spells for sure, he's at haste movement speed. Just
5-2-2.
all the time. Yep, all the time. That is pretty insane. He can just
when he was walking mid, I was like, this guy's a bit fast.
Yeah, I think he has haste. Wait, no, he just has bots.
Notice the fan getting Omni Slash. They get the kill. Bots in, gets canceled. Misery hexes him up or Earth Spikes him. I knew that was going to happen. Nice play by Misery. And now Seal Kid on the run. But again, I mean, Era has 522 movement speed. He can just walk mid. It'll take some time, but they didn't go in there. Jonas Fan going down as well means they can't really push. I don't think that they can fight. Nice invis room from Misery, making sure Era gets his TP canceled. That was something else.
Yeah, and Jonas Fan being dead is quite bad. I guess they can maybe fight once they get the Satanic on Bristleback without the Axe, but certainly they don't want to. Mask of Madness here up shortly for Bone 7, which I do like because, like we talked about, just getting the heroes faster away from the enemy team even after your lasso. And since he can have the repel applied to him, he doesn't really necessarily need the BKB. So that's one great thing that Cloud9 have is the catch factor, and this is why Batrider is so popular, and this is why he was first picked in this game. Is that even in situations like this, or when I would still say Nip has a little bit of an edge in team fights, you always have that pick-off potential with Batrider.
Yeah, it's just that late game X factor. It's the trump card. But they might need it now, as EE is going to get caught out. He'll try to TP away. He probably makes it. They don't have a bash for Era, so he can't really go. Lasso up on Hanskin. Doesn't have Echo Slam. They'll try to bring him into the Ancient stack. He kind of says hi to the Ancient Granicle and says, listen, I would love to stay in chat, but I'm actually looking for a Fisher. I'm looking for a man named Bone 7. He's on a Batrider. I'm going to enchant Totem in the face. Give him the Fisher in just a second. Cancels it. Boom. Shakalaka. Hanskin gets it done. They're going to walk down mid now. That's a pretty big kill. No buyback for Bone 7, but Fata, this foot pushing master, he's ready to go in that top lane. Let's see who gets the tower first. There is Flip for, I believe, both teams. Yes. But the Dire tier 3 is a bit lower. They'll have to send. Yeah, they need somebody to get back there immediately. They will TP Hanskin home. He does have Echo Slam. Not that that will do that much. Tier 3 tower is going to fall. Fawcett working on the melee racks. Sees Hanskin, backs away. So Hanskin not there to fight. TP coming out from Fawcett. He'll be back home now. Air trying to fight up. He's still no Aegis. He doesn't have a Satanic either. Has the money to buy it. Jonas Fan jumping in. Goes to work. Omni Slash, but he uses up in the air. Jonas Fan in trouble. Still alive. Grave gets out. Big Daddy No-Tail trying to help out. He has no G. He already used it. Big Daddy No-Tail getting chased down by Era. One more right click. Say goodbye, Big Daddy No-Tail. Era unstoppable now. They get 2 kills, but what do they get off the back end of this? I'm not sure if they can continue to push. They're all a bit low.
That was Fata's Yules. Why did he use him?
Oh, jeez.
I was checking. I was like, oh, sick. Access of Yules. Wait, no, it's Fata's. Oh, no. And then a Roshan just respawns. They're going to take that. That's going to be the cheese as well. Oh, boy. That was not good, to say the least.
Is Air going to buy Satanic here? Is the question. Maybe he goes for Heart, then Satanic. No. Era is going to put up the Viscous Gusags. Fox is nearby. Fox has Satanic. He just bought that BKB, which we've talked about. And they can't really take Roche now. I guess Bone 7 is back up. They could go over there. And NIP back up. They're kind of afraid. I don't blame them. They don't have vision in the enemy jungle. Bone 7 is responsible for 30% of all mob purchases in Batrider's pro history.
That's interesting to me. I actually think the item is very, very good. I just started playing Baz a little bit more recently. I really like it. Like you get heroes way further away than you normally couldn't without the mom. So that's an interesting step. And yeah, you're right. He's going to go for the heart. So it's just casual Helm of the Dominator right now. Feels that having just the raw HP more than the lifesteal is a little bit more important, which is more standard and more expected.
So he'll get heart. Probably gets the Satanic later on in the game, and then at that point he's, I think, unkillable. Or about as unkillable as you can get in this game of Dota 2. Well, I mean, he doesn't have an Assault Cross, I guess, or any other item, but still, though, they could probably take Roche now. I think they have the ability to do so. However, Envy's already in the pit. Cloud9 smoked up, and Fatsa will break the smoke. Era walks right into the enemy team. The Hex is going to go. Bone 7. Era is all alone. Mjolnir going. Fatsa trying to get his ultimate off and does do so, but doesn't really do much damage. Steel Kid getting right click down. Era about to fall. Era, the Grave not doing enough. 2 dead. Echo Slam comes in. It does take care of Big Daddy No-Tail. Jonas Japan trying to TP away the Flame Break. He's about to fall as well. Fatsa gets the triple kill. That BKB going to work, and EE with a big Omni Slash gets a double kill. It's a full team wipe. NIP Oh, God, what a disaster. Now Cloud9 are going to go straight to Roche. They're going to take the Aegis. That might have just been the game-winning fight coming up from Cloud9. They get not only the Aegis, but they get the cheese as well. And they're going to go straight down mid, more than likely to take this tier 2 tower.
And that personal back did not feel tanky at all. He just got from full to nothing in a matter of seconds, especially I believe Hex was maybe applied somewhere in there too, and Hex is really, really good against Bristleback because he loses his Bristleback. So he's not very tanky. I didn't see the act where he initiated. Maybe he got caught by the Batrider or somebody, but they just didn't have, they didn't have the initiation from Max to really do anything there. Oh, here we go.
Yoda's fan jumping in, he gets the call, but EE, loses the Aegis, gets the Culling Blade going. Now they have to be a bit careful. Rotsa pops the cheese just in time, Yule's up as well. EE is going to Blade Fury, Blink Call is available and ready to go. They will use it on EE, they'll probably just leave EE out to die. That is a lot. Just for that melee Rex, they have to expend the Aegis, they have to expend the cheese, and they lose Envy off the back end of it. And they will get a couple heroes out. Limp, they're chasing after Fatsa. Do they see him? They don't see him. I think they might know. They see the blink animation in the end, and so Fatsa will get out just in time. But, well, and with that being said, folks, we're going to send it over to Pimp Local for our first replay of the day. Pimp, what is up, man?
Right, I just want to quickly point out that there's been a smoke gank right before... Oh, actually, let's respect the Blind Rock. This is going to happen in top lane.
Big Dad and No-Tail gets brought down, and all right, I think maybe we have some time, hopefully. All right, we're gonna send it over to you now. Let's go.
Let's try it again, alright. Well, anyways, as mentioned, the Zeus doesn't have his ultimate because there was a smoke gank early on. So they had one big teamfight ultimate already down. Arrow just walks in, Dazzle ult didn't really do all that much. Limp was running in. Like, everything just didn't work out in the end at all. And, well, like everyone mentioned, Bone 7, he was doing a marvelous job to keep Bone 7 in his place. And with such, the Echo Slam, it was nice, but it just wasn't enough at all. So, with that, nice fight for C9. Let's switch back to the live broadcast.
And as we're back here, we have the tier 3 tower getting pressured by NIP. Maybe trying to force up this buyback from Envy, but he's got only 10 seconds left on his respawn time. They'll back away for Era. They don't want to try to take too much, and I think it's the right decision for NIP. But they did lose that last fight pretty handily. It's now what that fight actually. That's a 7,500 gold swing in that last fight. In that last fight alone, that was an impressive set of events coming out from Cloud9.
It is as close to a vertical line as you're going to get in Dota in these graphs. That's one very straight line upwards. And there's a smoke yet again, and I think what Pitmunkle said was huge actually. It was the fact that Zeus used scouting ulti, which didn't show anybody, so that showed that they were smoked. But the fact that his ulti was down and didn't do any damage, like it just happened right now,
there it is
actually really detrimental to NiP once they take a fight right after that. So if they know that they're smoked, then they should probably maybe back away. The problem was that Envy was doing Roche, and they didn't know that because they saw them all smoked. So yeah, that's a big ultimate there for your team. It does a lot of damage, and it cancels blinks.
Probably the most important thing as well. If they had gotten that ultimate off and they weren't smoked, then Bone 7 has to wait a bit longer to blink in, and maybe the fight's already initiated at that point for NIP.
Sure,
and maybe it turns into a disaster. I think Era also, he saw the smoke, then walked in, he's like, we should back up. Then he saw Envy Roche, and he's like, I guess we fight this. Let's go. But he was so far away from his team. There was no counter initiation. They got the Gravevolve, yes, but and that's not anywhere near enough here. And on IP, they're just trying to find somebody to pick off here. And Cloud9, I think if they just do more of the same, they probably have an advantage. I mean, they do in numbers in terms of the stats, but for NIP, what do you do now? Do you just keep farming? Do you try to push down? Do you try to man fight? Is that really the best option? I'm not sure.
I don't think they can man fight in a team fight anymore. I think they still have really strong pickoff potential with like Zeus and Axe. Like they have pretty damn good damage. And their strength is the pickoff with Axe. Like you mentioned, you're sick of this hero and it's really strong. It is very strong, and they can pick off anyone they want to. And the dunk will still go through Appel and GA and things like that. So they have that going for them. But as far as raw team fighting 5v5, it's just not going to work anymore against T9.
Envy walks right into Arrow, or vice versa. Hex up into Arrow. They have the entirety of Cloud9. They're going to use the Omni Slash, but it's split up as Slip pops the Ghost Scepter. Beautifully timed. Meanwhile, Big Daddy No-Tail on the chase. They do blow up that Dazzle. No great for them. TP out from Envy. They could have turned and fought that, I think. They'll Yule's up onto Era, but he is full health for the most part. Blink, Hanska jumping in. Nice BKB for Fatsa. No hit totem going there. Jonas Fan about to jump in. Requiem call onto 2. Bone 7 the first to go down. Big purification heal bomb. Jonas Fan hexed up, or his spike. Meanwhile, They're still getting run at by Era. This fight turning disaster. Huge Echo Slam from Hoskin. He gets the boom. He gets 4 heroes. That blink he was waiting for it the entire game. Boom, shakalaka. Holy shit, that was some damage.
That was some damage, and I was kind of fearful that Jones in Pyjamas wasn't going on to the Shadow Fiend while he had BKB was channeling the Requiem. Went into the backside, got the kill on Bone 7, and it looked kind of shaky there after that, but my god, the damage of that Echo Slam. And that wasn't even level 3 Echo Slam, too. That was quite good. 1,200 damage in total.
That was something. He dies after that, but he doesn't even give a damn. He's like, that's gotta feel good to get one of those Echo Slams, and Jonas and Fan and Era stay alive. They take 4 heroes. They don't get the biggest target in Envy, or one of the biggest targets, but God, that was something else.
Yeah.
So,
big thing. Yeah, one more thing before we go to the replay is that you'll see the Omni Slash, as you mentioned, just did nothing. They spread it out. Zeus ran in with the Ghost Scepter, and it's still a proxy attacks from the Omni Slash. So.
And as you said, Pimp's ready with the replay. Let's send it over to him. Pimp, what's up?
Alright, once again, great team fight. This time around, Nip had the better edge. And why? Well, you know what? Eternal Envy, his ultimate was getting completely just soaked up by Era and Limp on a Ghost Scepter. So he was out of the fight. He had to TP out. And that's huge because your #1 damage dealer, well, #2 after the Shadow Fiend maybe even, is not going to be in the fight. And he tried to run back, but it just took so damn long. Everyone just got cleaned up. The BKB from Fata did nothing. Yes, he had a nice ultimate, but X, well, he was away. He was dunking people. And with that, the team fight got lost after an insane Echo Slam. Let's see it once again. Here we go. There it's going to be in just a second. And get dunked, boys. Back to you, Mord.
Ridiculous dunk coming out from Hanskin on that Earthshaker. I do want to point out, this just happened while we were in the replay. Zeus did pick up an Ethereal Blade, which I think is a huge item. This is so big coming from him. I like this choice a lot.
Yeah, it's very good. Obviously, you can use it to apply it to when the Omni Slash is coming out from Juggernaut. He just has to be very, very careful that he's not the one caught, because he's actually very, very important to him. Probably one of the most important heroes. It's one of those perfect heroes where you're like, it does probably more damage than anyone, but it also is the easiest to kill. And so if you're Cloud9, that's like your focal point right now for Nip. Actually, it's probably the Earthshaker, because if not the damage coming from the Echo Slams, Handspin has been on point this entire game with stopping the initiation. This is exactly why Earthshaker's picked up. It's not so much the damage, the big dunks, which can happen, of course, but it's mostly for stopping the initiation and keeping people stunned from a long range, and he's done exactly that this game.
And Fisher's such a good ability in that regard. It's so hard to fight into that. The block, first of all, obviously, like you said, and the long range that it provides. And I remember a time when this Fisher was not that long. He's still a good hero, but there was a time when Earthshaker wasn't really touched in competitive play. Ninth Ethereal Blade ever on Zeus, purchased in less than 2% of games. We don't see it too often, but boy, it might come into play here. As this game is getting later and later, we're heading to the 45-minute mark, and it certainly does feel like a late game, although this is going to get tougher and tougher, I feel like, for NIP, as now the Juggernaut has an Abyssal Blade, so that's pretty big. They have the Butterfly for Shadow Fiend as well, so they have a lot of items to work with here, and they're going to head a top lane. They want to finish off this top racks. Easier said than done with Jonas and Fan leading the way.
They actually know they're coming because they spotted him out with a ward up here, which was just about to fade, so they want to fight. Oh, nice blink out there from Jonas and Fan. They knew it was coming somewhat. And here we go. Oh, that's an illusion, unfortunately.
Fisher block onto E. He does get forced on the other side. Era's running at them at this point. They're all so fast. E popped them on. Bone 7 probably dies. Alright, Jonas Fan, that's unnecessary, man. I guess they get the haste from the culling blade, so I guess it is kind of necessary, but they won't catch anybody anyways.
Era don't need no haste.
He is 5-2-2 already. He pops up like, he's like, I'm just going to hit 3 abilities. By the way, I'm actually at max movement speed. He's still running across the map at light speed. And Era's going to try to find Misery. He has his blink and Force Staff. He's fine. He'll get out. But good defense, I guess, if you could call it that. That was kind of just, we're going to look at you from our high ground, and you're not going to be able to get up here, so.
Yeah, it was a nice blink out from Axe. The second that Bone 7 came in. And actually, bottom, Hanskin finds the dunk. There's the bots in from Jonas and Fan and gets the dunk himself. Really nice kill. He's got no bot. Actually, I have to double check this. Make sure that it's not bugged out.
It's bugged. He has it, dude.
What the fuck, man?
Dota, Volvo.
You know what's the ironic part is that people will like yell at casters on Reddit saying, "Lol, casters, can't you see the buyback symbol on the portrait?" Yeah, okay, buddy.
That's so true. But like, I've been using that like ever since I knew that was a thing. I made it my goal to use that, and now it's down. I can't look at it reliably. Everything I knew was a lie. It's all a lie. All right, well, he has buyback. They're gonna go to the high
ground. He doesn't want to
ground.
use it obviously though. If they can hold without him, then obviously he wants to save it.
Oh, the Berserker's call. He's gonna have to buy back now. Lasso and the Earth Spike. That was kind of a cool little hop. He gets fingered as well. Jonas Fan brought all the way back. He's in alone. They realize that they're fighting outside of the base now. Omni Slash going. Limp trying to fight. I think he got the Ethereal Blade off when it was all said and done, so he couldn't find a single kill with that Omni Slash. Still, that Lasso though. We talked about it, man. That is the X factor for Bone 7. He brought him all the way back behind the tier 4 tower, behind the nation. He was right here when it was all said and done. That's crazy.
Yeah, so in the end, though, I think it's okay for Nip. They got a buyback out of the jug, so they know he doesn't have it. His item progression's stifled just a little bit. And the axe with the golden thing around his numbers does have a buyback for sure. Might actually have to use it. They should see him walking into Roche.
Yeah, there they go.
This is smart.
Look how fast Roche is going down, though. It's getting obliterated. Zeusolt's going to go. They need to get in the pit. They need to do it now. Fisher's going to come through. Can they get in the pit? Jonas Fan going to jump in. They don't get the Aegis. No snatch, nothing of that nature. Limp does get the kill on Big Daddy. No tell. Era running and fighting. EE low. He does have the Aegis, but he might fall, and he will. And they'll try to kill him a second time. Faza and the rest of the squad there on the run. Bone 7 is getting the hell out of there. I think they missed the call. Not that it matters. EE's dead anyways. Jonas Fan actually misses the dunk. He actually picked up the cheese. Not bad for Jonas Fan. That's pretty big, actually. And a big kill as EE doesn't have buyback. That's the biggest thing we just remembered. He bought back and now he dies to Roshan, or at least at the Roche pit. That's a big pick for NIP.
It really is. And someone was pinging out this blade mail that's somewhere, but regardless, he doesn't have it right now. There's a refresher from Bone 7. He uses Lasso twice right now. But is it going to be enough with no Juggernaut in the pool for available? We'll see, man.
This is a tough defense. They might even they're looking like they might just give up the Spaler Racks. It's already slow and Era is just going to work. By the way, Era has his Assault Cuirass pretty much done. He has enough money for Hyperstone. He's waiting to buy it for whatever reason. He has more than enough. Last is gonna bring it back though, Era. Now they will use one. They're gonna refresh. Will they go again? Absolutely. Era, you're going to the well, buddy. Have a nice swim. Era, you're dead. Goodbye. And he does have buyback, yes, but Lasso now down for, you know, I guess 60 seconds? No, 48 seconds plus the 180 second refresher orb cooldown. Seal Kid. Oh god, please no. He's dead. Era does buy back. Hanskin hexed up. Jonas and Fan Zeusolt's gonna go. They do take down that Dazzle of Ethereal Blade onto Misery. GA, they take down that 4 line. Now coming back, it's Era. Echo Slam again onto Bone 7. The Fisher, the double Fisher, the jam. Bone 7 getting to the high ground, but they've already lost 2 heroes. Luckily, Juggernaut is back and alive. Buyback coming in from the Dazzle. They want to try to finish this off. Era going to work. Seal Kid getting ready to get back in. He actually has to defend as the top lane of Rax is now gone. It's an even game in terms of Rax, but now they have the Assault Cross flying in. The damage to the building's that much more. They're going to work. This Baylor Rax falling so quickly. They have to blink it. Omni Slash is going to go through. They have the Ethereal Blade. Lip not getting in there in time. Finally gets it off. Now Era trying to run and can't attack. Lassoed up. Era brought back to the tier 4s yet again. Meanwhile, they take down Lip on the backside. Era low, getting bashed up. So low. He just bought back. Will he die to the tower? He doesn't regen fast enough from the Heart of Trash. Kill go down. No buyback for him. He's down for 108 seconds, and they don't get the bottom Rags. Fisher goes. Hanskin has to TP back home, and now it's time to defend if you're NIP.
And then the Zeus bought back and did nothing with it. Tried to bots in and then canceled it actually himself. That was counter 3-2-2? I thought that maybe Era was just going to save his buyback. They were going to let the Dazzle die and just be on their merry way, right? Like the Dazzle was going to be the only one dead. The rest of them could have stunned and blinked out. They would have been fine, called it a day. But no, they actually really wanted to fight it, and it did not work out. I think big thing was Limp was really late in the Ethereal Blade and just wasn't close enough or something to the Bristleback, and actually used it after the full Omni Slash, and then used it when the spin and the lasso with the Firefly were down, so it actually hurt him more than helped him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then, yeah, now buybacks are wasted. Bristleback doesn't have one available, obviously, just used it. He's down for 60 seconds. We'll see if Cloud9 can make something happen. Omni Slash will be up before the Bristleback is up, which is huge, because that means he can easily kill some hero before the Bristleback respawns.
Jonas and Fan, you've got a lot of work to be doing, my friend. They do have Echo Slam back up, by the way, which you can't underestimate the value of that ability. But is this enough? They are really in trouble here. This Rax, they have no glyph available either. They might just let this Rax go. They'll Fisher up Fonsa. He blinks away from it. What a play. And the melee Rax is close to falling. Blink lasso Hanska. They know that Echo Slam's a big ability. They'll lasso him up. The Earth Spike coming out as well. And they will figure him so he can't even get that off. He does have buyback. He'll have to use it. Ag's now picked up for Jonas Fan. He'll try to take this game and just defend this Rax on his own. They will take the melee Rax. They'll back up. They don't want to go for anything more. Cloud9 being very patient with the play, and I like that decision. And it's so close. This game could go in any direction at this point in time. Back and forth we go.
You know, I will say from the games I've watched from Nip, it's all these games that they play seem to be fun. Like, they always seem to go late. They always seem to be pretty climactic, you know? Back and forth constantly, down to the wire. So it's been really fun. And here we go, smoking aggressively. Era's up top, showing himself, trying to push out the lane as much as he can. He should be fine. I don't think that EE can really kill him right now. EE, he does see, or he doesn't see, but there is a double damage up top rune. So I want to make some with that. But he is not bottom yet. He actually has to TP back to base to get mana. If they fight this right now for Nip, I think they might come out on top just because Envy is not ready to go.
There's the Zeus ult. They see exactly where Cloud9 is situated, and they're going to find Bode 7. That's one of the heroes. They get the dunk. Gems on the deck as well. Big Daddy No Tail's like, I'm probably dead. And he most certainly is, I think. Yeah, he is TP. Big Daddy No Tail, it's just, that's an unfortunate place to be. They get 2 kills. Bones have a pretty high value target. Big Daddy No Tail not as much, but still 2 kills, and that's 2 more than maybe Cloud9 were expecting. So, what about Roche? That's still a ways away. Alright, we got a long time before that happens.
Look at this. See, like, Omni's Knight has the golden thing around him. He has a buyback, obviously. Batrider also has a buyback, but he doesn't. Is this a bug, or are we missing something?
No, it's definitely a bug.
It's just a bug? Okay.
Yeah, I guess yeah, Pip was saying the calculation is probably wrong. That's probably true. I don't know. There's just they implemented the new surplus system and all that stuff in the last patch, and that might have something to do with it. Who knows how buyback's actually calculated in this situation.
They're letting their tier 4s get hit just a little bit. Jonas Stefan's actually walking back to help push it out. He does have boots of travel.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We'll see though. We'll see. I don't think Batrider's gonna buy back with 10 seconds.
Attack.
No.
So this is a really awkward position now.
They have the glyph though. Bot's picked up finally for Bot's eyes. He's 6 slotted. Yes. I guess you get rid of that blink dagger, maybe. Because you already sold the fuels. I don't know if you need the blink.
Yeah, maybe just the Daedalus.
Yeah, I guess so. Nope. Alright. Cloud9. They're just trying to keep these lanes pushed out. Limp. Dagger, he has bots as well, so everyone has bots. It feels like the most part. Fine. Echo Slam bots are getting jumped on the Zeus ult. They ethereal bladed him. They chop him down regardless. That was awkward. I don't know, like, what? Okay, I guess. They kind of just stood around him for like 2 seconds. That was weird. He does have buyback, though.
Yeah, Ethereal Blade actually, as far as offensive purposes, is not great for the entirety of Nip because most of them are physical damage. It's just the Zeus and the Echo Slam from the Earthshaker, and he already used it, so that was kind of awkward. But still got the kill. He does have buyback. Maybe it'd be in their best interest to bait it out and then maybe go for Roshan. And then they get the Roshan, they have the Aegis and Cheese, no buyback available in SF. We'll see if that's what Nip's line here is, but they should definitely try to press things down.
I think in terms of baiting out the buyback, though, they did it really well last time for Cloud9 when what happened was they went bottom, or went mid, actually, for NIP, and they actually got initiated on with the Batrider last time. Once they brought them back, then Envy bought out, and they actually had a fight off the back end of that. So it feels like NIP have to be very careful with, you know, this push. And there is no glyph.
Here comes Bat. Here comes Batrider.
There it is. It's like clockwork. Nice fuel sets are coming up, but he might have the refresher. It does pull him back yet again. Refreshes up. Hero. Like how he's going to get lassoed again. He's going to get brought back to the well. Will he get there? Absolutely. He's going to try to walk out. Ethereal Blade. He does have the cheese. SF buys back. Arrow pops the cheese. Blade break back into the well. He's just trying to leave. That's all he's trying to do is get out. Jonas Fan will take down that melee Rax. E gets a double kill on the back end of it. Now, TP in. That's going to be coming in from Misery, looking for an Earth Spike or something. Finds Era. The right click to Scotty, slowing him down the finger. That doesn't really do much damage, but it will do enough to push him back with Flame Break. The right click more than enough to get the kill. Triple kill for Envy. And they lose the melee Rax, but they still defend nicely. And actually,
He
you know,
is
Finn on the
BKB.
run.
He has
Does he have
BKB
buyback?
TP in 3 seconds.
Radiant's
He does.
bottom
He will
barracks are
BKB.
under
He will
attack.
TP. There is no lasso. He will make it out.
Okay, a couple things about that. One is Nip did get the racks, which is important. And actually,
Radiant's
oh,
bottom
it's taking some
barracks are under
permanent
attack.
damage here from that catapult there, but No Tail will kill it. They
Oh,
have a
look at this
buyback
play.
available on at least the bristleback.
Limp.
And Death
Limp?
as well. Okay.
Limp is going to get lassoed up. They bot top lane, and they just go right onto the Zeus, and he doesn't have... Well, hold on.
He doesn't.
He doesn't for 8 seconds. Yeah. All right, buybacks to this game are just so, like, I can't even like, I need to keep my I button open as much as... Yeah, seriously. I don't know what's happening. Volvo, you need to fix this. But
yeah, they did lose the racks, and they've almost lost the other range racks. And I think they did get some nice kills on Nip, but it could have been 100% cleaner if they just repelled the Bat Rider instead of the Juggernaut, because it was a really nice play by Limp, I believe, who actually blinked in and Eulsed him immediately.
Yeah.
So it stopped his backwards progression towards the well.
Dyer's
And while he still got a
bottom
second
tower
one
is
onto
under
him,
attack.
they didn't really need it if he just had the repel into
Dyer's
the back.
bottom tower has fallen.
she up to the high ground now. No buybacks forced. And again, Zeus does have buyback, but it doesn't show the gold banner, which we'll harp on for ages, but still. Bristleback's alive. They did get that melee Rex mid, so the Rexes are 100% even at this point. There is one difference, though, between NIP and C9's base, is that there is a Tier 2 tower top lane that doesn't exist in the Tier 2 tower bottom lane for NIP. So that's the one big difference. Roche is going to respawn momentarily. There it goes. They had vision of it respawning. They ping it out. They smoke up. Are they going to go straight for Roche? If that's the case, I don't think NIP can get here fast enough to deal with this. I mean, EE and Fox do so much damage that this is just going to get obliterated, and there's no way they can test this Aegis or Cheese. So that's actually the X Factor coming up with 5-9, and maybe they can get a building off the back end of this. Maybe they can get a team fight. Maybe they can win the game. Who knows? We are at 59 minutes. We are 20 seconds away from hitting that 60-minute mark in our first game of a 2-game series today between C9 and IP. I guess we couldn't have it any other way.
And the Juggernaut just built a full, complete butterfly. And I believe he will still have buyback after that.
Yes.
Checking his thing. Yep, he's got. I love this new thing. If you see it, if you hover over it, it says like 375 surplus of gold.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that no math required. Thank God. NIP walking, smoked up. They're going to head towards the bottom jungle, perhaps. There's a heart now done. It feels like every other moment I see Jonas and Fan picking up another item.
Yeah. Yep,
He
he
is
is definitely
super
6-slotted
tanky.
right now.
Shiva's guard. He has Heart, Ags.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's super 6-slotted, actually. They're going to find Misery. X goes. Lasso brings Hanskin back down to the low ground. They actually put him on the cliff. He doesn't have Force Staff. Omnislash going in the backside, I believe. But Limp pops the Ghost Scepter. Jonas Fan takes a lot of damage, but will back away. What else is happening here on the backside? Era's kind of alone at this point with pressure from Bone 7. Maybe looking for another lasso. He'll find it again, and the Hex goes out as well. Era brought back, and Seal Kid blown up by the Requiem. The Raise misses. He'll earn himself. He's going to try to get the Grave off. Doesn't get it off. Meanwhile, Era on the run. Fisher comes out. EE up in the air with the Yule Scepter. He'll try to back away. Bone 7 blinks across. Why?
Taking damage.
Meanwhile, the Ancient back at the base. NIP maybe in some trouble here. They're still fighting the mid lane. Jonas Fan gets done a big Echo Slam onto Fonz, but where's the follow-up? He's still alive. Fonza already used the Satanic. Era doesn't have one. His heart going to work. The throne back at the base. Getting low. Below half health. NIP, they have to get back. They have to just to stop this fight. Get back home. It's too late. They're already all going down. They're going to bots in, and it's too late. NIP's throne is dead. Jonas Fan gets there 1 second too late. And that is the game. You couldn't have asked for a better ending. NIP go down. An awful fight. An awful defense. They're throwing exposed. Cloud9 take the victory after a long-winded 60-plus minute game. 61 minutes and 31 seconds. Whew, what a game, man.
Oh, boy.